Hey guys, welcome to July 2023. I can't imagine a more perfect time than to give you guys a mid-year Orange County real estate market report. And so what we're going to do in this video today is talk to you about what's been going on in our real estate market, what interest rates are doing, what inventory levels are doing, and how to navigate this complicated and competitive market that we're experiencing here in Orange County. So I'm going to keep this video very straight and to the point. I want to just get right into the meat of it. And the thing that we're hearing most about in our headlines in the news is interest rates. And a close second is inventory levels, but definitely interest rates seem to be taking the headlines in our real estate market. And interest rates last year, they were hovering for about 2 years in and around 2.5% to 3.5% interest. And coming off of 2 years of rapid appreciation, people being able to jump into the market with these low interest rates, the natural thought is, when is that correction coming? And so once we started seeing interest rates rise last year, we started thinking, okay, the market is going to start correcting. And our interest rates peaked out at about 7.5% in October. They started declining again, and our values started declining as well. Now we're in February 2023 essentially, and we're starting to see our interest rates lower again, but that was only temporarily. And so now they've come up again, and now we're hovering today, July, at around 7.25% for a 30-year fixed interest rate. As interest rates started to rise in mid-2022, compared to the 3% that we had seen before, now we're seeing 5%, 6%, which is freaking everybody out and basically stopping everybody in their tracks, especially with people who are impacted with the volatile interest rates. So after 2 years of rapid appreciation, everybody was naturally waiting for this big market correction that never really came, because now the homeowners who we were expecting to sell their homes are now locked into these ultra low interest rates. The interest rates lowered for a while, then they started going back up, again peaking in October of 2022. Our market started declining in property values for the first time in 2 years. And so for a 4-month period, 3 to 4 month period, we saw our property values decline going through March of 2023. And at the end of March 2023, we started seeing signs that the values were going back up again. And our interest rates were still hovering right around 7%. Totally unexpected when you have rising interest rates and still rising home prices. Very unusual market condition and rarely happens. Market correction that we were anticipating never happened, and we still find ourselves in that seller's market. All the buyers are sitting there waiting on the sidelines, hoping their day is coming. And it came slightly for a little bit, but now it's back into that seller's market position. In spite of these higher interest rates and severe affordability issues, our housing prices still have not come down to where people were expecting them to come. While there are signs of improvement with some increase in inventory levels, we are still at a severely depleted inventory supply. So why are home prices not plunging with these affordability issues and these higher interest rates? It really comes down to the inventory levels, and we just don't have that level of supply that we were anticipating receiving once the interest rates started to go up. So while there are signs of improvement, we're still suffering from that extremely low inventory level that we've been having for the past 2 to 3 years. Just for point of reference, at the beginning of 2023, we had 2,530 homes on the market here in Orange County. Today, that number sits at 2,053. That's the lowest number at the end of June that we've ever experienced since we've been tracking this. Today, our Orange County inventory level sits at 2,281 homes. And last year, just for point of reference, we were sitting at 3,491 homes on the active inventory, which is 53% higher than what we have today. Also give you even more point of reference, if you look back at the 3 years prior to the COVID period, our average inventory level on the active market in Orange County was 6,600 homes, which is triple what we have today. I think the difficult time with last year and why we saw a decline in last year's sales volume was the fact that we were so used to these low interest rates. In the middle of the year, they started rapidly changing. So we went from 2.75% all the way up to 6% in a quick period of time, which essentially paralyzed our market. And so, with today's lack of supply and a much more stabilized higher interest rate market, meaning we've gotten comfortable with this idea that our interest rates are going to be between 6 and 7%, it's created an extremely hot market for our sellers. So as I mentioned, we are starting to see our inventory levels rise. In fact, in the past 2 weeks alone, we've seen 85 homes come on the market here in Orange County, which is a good sign. So our inventory, again, now sits at 2,281 homes today. So the homeowners now are still kind of locked in their position of these low interest rates and nowhere else to go. So that seems to be the glut of what's impacting our market right now. This is going to continue until our interest rates drop, ideally below 6%, but somewhere in that 6% range I think will be really healthy for our market and get things going at a level that we're used to. So there are signs that our demand levels are starting to show signs of improvement. Over the past couple of weeks alone, we've increased our number of escrows in Orange County from about 1,595 on up to 1,602 where it sits today. And if you compare that to last year at this time, number of escrows we had were 1,861. So we're down about 16% 3% on number of escrows here in Orange County. Why is demand stabilized this year versus last year? I'll touch on that again. It really has to do with the volatility of the interest rates. Last year, interest rates were changing so rapidly, everybody was in shock, put the brakes on and said, hey, I'm going to hold off and see where this settles down. And then if the market comes back to 3%, which I don't think is ever happening, but they were waiting for the market to retract. And now that interest rates have stabilized in and around that 6.5%, people are now starting to get accustomed to the fact that we've got a little bit of a higher interest rate environment to work in. So that's why I think things have stabilized a bit in our market today. As I mentioned, we're starting to see signs of inventory improving here in Orange County. And over the past couple of weeks alone, we've started to see the inventory levels rise to enough of a point to affect our days on market and sale times. Those 2 weeks ago, the average home took about 41 days to sell here in Orange County. Today, that number has risen up to 43. So not significant, but a slight movement. And we hadn't seen that for quite some time. And last year, that number was 56 days. So it's an improvement over last year when we were in the middle of that interest rate volatility situation I was mentioning. When we talk about luxury homes, those are the homes that are priced above $2 million. The inventory levels of those homes have increased from 715 homes to 770 homes over these past couple of weeks as well. So the demand for that same market segment has increased by 11 sales during that period. Those are good signs. And so with this rising supply and falling demand, the expected market time in the luxury market has increased from 107 days on up to 122 days. Year over year, the luxury demand is down by 22 sales here in Orange County. And for homes priced between 2 and 4 million, the expected market time has increased from 76 days to 89 days. You go to homes above 4 million, say between 4 and 6 million, the days on market have actually decreased from 163 days down to 131 days. The one that's been impacted the most recently is our luxury end, however, homes above 6 million. And homes above 6 million now, our market time is expected, it was 274 days, and now it's jumped to 465 days. That's a big jump. So if you're a buyer in this competitive market, the best thing that you can do is align yourself with an agent. And I'm not doing this as a personal pitch to myself, but the best thing that you can do is align yourself with an agent who is connected and embedded in the real estate community. There have been more off-market deals done in this market than we've ever seen before. The networking, the collaboration and communication amongst agents is more important than it's ever been before. I had a conversation yesterday with a buyer who has aligned himself with one of these boutique independent brokers, and he said he's missed out on 23 properties that he's written offers on. Honestly, I think the biggest thing you can do as a buyer is find yourself a good agent to work with, somebody who's well connected in the real estate industry, somebody who is networked, who is active, who is watching the market. You can't have somebody who does this part-time right now. It is so competitive, and there are so many off-market deals being done in this market that the only way to know when those are happening is if you're with an agent who is very connected. And we put a home on the market less than a week ago. Everybody knew it was happening. They were teed up and ready. I had 4 offers the day it went on the market. So now this guy with the independent broker comes to me 4 days later. We've already been through best and final offer, and he's missed it. Anyway, I told him, I said, do yourself a favor. That guy might be your best friend, etc., but you're not getting anywhere if you don't have somebody who's really embedded in the real estate community. That's my tip for a buyer. My tips for sellers right now is similar to buyers. You definitely want to be aligned with somebody who's in the business and is active in the business. It's not a part-time deal anymore, and you've got to be more proactive than ever. But the biggest tip I have for any seller today is you got to be realistic with pricing. We're coming out of a time with historically low interest rates, crazy market, things were selling above asking price. Everybody still thinks we're in that same market, and we're not. It's a completely different market. It's way more competitive. You cannot price your home at any price and hope it sells. It's just not that environment today. You've got to be thoughtful, you've got to be intelligent, and you've got to have reason and data to back up your list price. And so to me, especially when I saw the days on market from 6 million on up increase from 274 days to 465 days, that was a little scary for me. And I think you need to be really, really deliberate with your pricing, and pricing sensitivity is more important than ever. Okay, so I can't finish one of these videos without touching specifically on Laguna Beach. And Laguna Beach has been my home for the past 50 plus years, and it's where I do 90% of my business. So last year at this time, inventory levels in Laguna Beach were sitting at 119 homes. Today, Today, our inventory level sits at 131 homes, but that's only recent. We've been hovering around 100 homes, 96 homes, 98 homes, 106 homes for the past 3 or 4 months. Only in the past several 2 to 3 weeks, I'd call it, have we seen this increased inventory from about 100 now up to 131. So those are good signs. Broker preview on Wednesday was the best broker preview we've had in a long time. There was a lot of good inventory on display, and so some options are opening up for people here locally. What I will tell you in Laguna specifically, last year for period June 1 to June 30th, so June 1 to June 30th, 2022, we sold 200 homes here in Laguna Beach. And today, January 1 to June 30th, 2023, that number is reduced down to 126 homes. Now, in 2022, a total of 322 homes were sold, and now we're on pace to just surpass about 250 homes. But we are starting to see increased sales recently. So I'm hoping that this year's recent activity is going to outpace last year's second half of the year, and will surpass what we did in 2022. Last year, 2022, we had a high sale in Emerald Bay of $43,500,000, and this year so far we've had a high sale down in South Laguna of $17,100,000. So quite a bit of difference between those two sale prices. Now, there's not enough of a sample size to determine whether or not that means anything, but it is interesting that we did have several higher priced homes than our highest price sale that we've had so far. That concludes our video for today and our market update for 2023 so far. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to watch more, we're going to be creating more content about Orange County real estate, Laguna Beach specifically. Love to have you as one of our subscribers, so please like and subscribe below. I'll see you guys in the next video.